think that we all have a tendency as women to suffer silently. So, not necessarily talk about what we need, needs, make sure that everybody else is taken care of. And when something gets thrown into that chain, like you have some digestive distress, bloating, inconsistent bowel movements, or food is making you feel uncomfortable, then not only are there's such a toll that it takes. It's one of those things where you suffer violently. Something like perhaps like a breakout on your skin or eczema or psoriasis. People can see that and they understand that you're suffering outwardly, but not always with digestion. So not only are you kind of alone about it, it's not something that you want to talk about. So, it compounds this sense of isolation and just the overall amount of time that we then don't put into ourselves, I think personally. And so, with that, then the importance of digestive health for women, especially, is that we are nourishing ourselves for strong bones and strong muscles so that when we do get older, if we fall down, we've had the adequate nutrients and vitamins and minerals and all of that throughout the course of our life and been able to absorb them, because it's one thing to eat them, it's another thing to absorb them. So we've been able to absorb them and therefore have a more solid, strong foundation for if something does go wrong. And secondly, having the energy to run around and to do all the things that we love to do. I think quality of life is so important, obviously, and that's one of the reasons why aesthetics is so amazing, because when you look good, you feel good. But also with digestive health, we want you to be able to enjoy different foods. And when people feel like they can't eat something or they have to restrict something or they're missing out because if they don't, then they'll have an issue, then that takes away so much joy. And I don't want that for you.
That's exactly that I really are very interesting to know because today so many women have experience with the digestion symptoms on the daily basis, and what are those symptoms more frequently in your practice?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What are the symptoms, the daily symptoms that they always, visited you for your practice? What kind of, more usually like IBS,
Hmm.
SBIB, or the colitis? What is the most common symptoms that they come into your practice?
Great question. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the symptoms that I treat are going to be bloating, diarrhea, constipation, or inconsistent bowel movements, right? Too much of one, not enough of the other. Food sensitivity, or with some kind of migraine, or, with swelling, kind of
Now it's
thing.
changing a little bit. Now it's changing the audio.
I know. Hang on, let me try my other.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
So, joint pain and all different, like sometimes when we have digestive distress, then the intestinal barrier of our intestinal cells are held together like this, and food and nutrients are allowed to pass through in some degree. But when that separates a little bit more, then we've got like some things that are leaking out a little bigger that have more of an inflammatory effect on the body. So, everything from reduced energy and bloating all the way to Crohn's, colitis, diverticulitis. But then I look at the little things, as someone who specializes in the microbiome and really gets in there.
That's very important because it's very frequently today. I don't know it is the stress. I don't know it is the quality of food. I don't know what is exactly, but every year is more and more, and that's why it's necessary to recommend everyone to visit the nutritional like you, because it's not necessary to wait when we are sick. We should visit it like more often and do review our nutrition, our diet. It's not necessary to visit the nutrition just to lose weight and
Right.
good look. It's necessary to visit it just to maintain healthy body. And that's very important today. Every day we have more statistic, we have more cancer, we have
Mhm.
a lot of problem today that we can definitely we can help each other if we work as a prevention. And that's why is we are doing this short conversation, we are doing seminar, we are doing networking, always focus in a way how to educate the community,
Yeah.
educate the community and continue, for everyone who are connecting today, it's just at least base information, but also to know about you, about your expertise, about your experience, and also you are open directly to you offer your services in North Carolina, and also they can reach you out through the social media too if they have more question about yourself. For those people who don't know or it is not very familiar the topic, what exactly is functional nutrition and how can it help to improve the overall health?
So functional nutrition is basically a offshoot of functional medicine. And what that means is we're looking at the functions of the body as they function together instead of as each separate thing. So for me with Crohn's disease, we would say, oh, that's it. You have Crohn's disease, right? In the regular world. But then in the functional world, and this is not to be confused with the some of the less evidence-based wellness stuff, but in the functional world, what we do is we say, okay, so we're looking at adverse childhood events. We're looking at, things that you breathe and drink and eat and absorb. We're looking at your lifestyle and your morning routines and your sunlight and your physical activity, and understanding that all of those things, plus what you eat, plus, is it SIBO, is it candida, like where did those things come from? And why is this happening now? Because everybody has an overgrowth of some kind, right? Bacteria in their small intestine. But what we look at in the functional side is, well, what is causing that to happen, and why is that giving you distress? And then really zooming out and looking at the whole body and seeing it as something that can be like we have applications for each kind of part, but bringing them all together so that you can experience the highest quality of life. And what it does for people is it brings in a school of thought and an extra lens that they not have not necessarily had before. So I love it because so many people come to me after they've tried everything else, and we help them to feel better. And that's what it's all about. And that's really that extra layer of looking at things.
All right, so about the a lot of conversation, the people are talking about the connection between gut and emotional health.
Mhm.
How do the stress and the anxiety affect a digestive health?
So our gut produces like over 60% of the serotonin that we need. It produces other neurotransmitters, and it also is a big part of our immune system. So a lot of things are happening that originate and continue to happen in the gut. The brain and the gut are connected by a series of network of nerves. And so if you have digestive distress, let's say you go into a situation thinking, uh-oh, I'm going to get Botox today. What if I have a problem with my stomach and it's grumbling or something is bothering me? And you're so nervous about it. And then you go to sit down and it's quiet in there. And all of a sudden you hear your
Sound.
stomach grumbling. Then you start to freak out, right? So then you're feeling more stressed out. And then your stomach starts grumbling louder. So it is a feedback loop to some extent. To some extent, it's like the trauma from having stomach issues has caused your stomach issues to get worse and your anxiety about food to get worse. And in some ways, it's just a straight old bi-directional communication with nerves and neurotransmitters and your immune system.
Wow. That is real impressive because definitely we are worried immediately because it's part of the solid organ inside. Anything that
Mhm.
we feel or hear with our system, we immediately get stressed. Of course, that it is going to connecting with anxiety, and you don't know, you feel embarrassed too when you're going to
Yeah.
be aware. It's like, what can I do now? Or is this going to be permanent? Or
Right.
what is it? maybe we can thinking, like cancer, something like that, because immediately we get stressed about that. But that's why it's necessary to know exactly what is the problem, how we can fix that, what kind of medication. And this is only by professional hands. We cannot auto-medicate. That's not recommended to do. That's why we are just do that conversation with you. So,
Mhm.
what simple daily habit would you recommend to start improving digestive health naturally?
That's a great question. So, with the daily habit, I think the first thing that many people do nowadays is they wake up and they reach for the phone. And on the phone, we've got the news, which in the US is not always great. We have the like other people living different lives and seeing, maybe their opinions, maybe something that makes you feel a certain kind of way, but something that sparks emotion. We also have blue light. So instead of exposing ourselves to all of those things, right, the opinions of strangers and the news and anything else that we cannot control, we absolutely in that moment can't do anything about it. Let's go out and view the sunlight. So if you get up a little too early for this, then just wait until it's time. Maybe listen to something instead of looking at something, but allowing your eyes to view natural light within an hour and a half of waking up helps your body to realize that it's daytime instead of the phone being the light that makes you realize it's daytime. It also helps with your nervous system. It improves your mood. It increases your tolerance to stress, and therefore calms down your gut a little bit because we're not like immediately, having coffee on an empty stomach and hearing what happened last night in the news. Instead, maybe having some water first or having a little meal first, and then listening to something or listening to the birds or sitting outside, even if this is a 5 minute, 10 minute thing, right? I'm not asking you to make it a full time job, but that will make such a big change in your life. And then the second one is chewing your food, sitting down for meals and chewing your food.
What amazing answer, because also you have your own experience and it helps you a lot for your help too. So you are talking with your passion, with your love, because it's part of your career, but also it's a part of the benefit that you're getting for yourself. And you
Right.
can give up this special advice. That's a really good, because we don't think, but it can happen for everyone. And sometimes I just say we are doing and we don't pay attention that every single day we have a bad habit, and that bad habit one day is no problem, second day is no problem, but the sequence every day you are doing the same. Immediately the phone,
Mhm.
very bad, negative news every single day. So it's the number one who is going to affect ourselves, but we don't pay attention either. And then at
Right.
night we are so stressed, but it's
I
from
know.
the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's a really good answer. What do you enjoy the most about helping women through their healing and wellness journey?
Well, I think I enjoy the most seeing people be able to navigate situations that used to make them afraid. I enjoy being able to listen to someone who feels like they've been dismissed and feels like no one can help them. And I really enjoy watching the science piece and the personal piece and the therapy piece all come together to change somebody's life because regardless of what's happening, if you sit down with someone who has always been told like take an antidepressant or get some more sleep or you're probably just stressed out or don't eat gluten, like those aren't answers. Those don't necessarily give us what we've been looking for. Like, I don't feel well, what's wrong with me? And if there's nothing that can be identified,